Tim here with another cracking little recipe for you guys. So this is a really simple recipe. There's just 6 ingredients and you're going to end up with this fantastic tasty little dish that you've thrown together in no time at all. So today's recipe is mushroom pizzas. Yeah, sounds a bit weird, but trust me on this one, they turn out fabulous. So all we're going to need for this one today is we're going to need some passata, a little bit of mature cheddar, some spicy sausages. You don't have to use these, you use a little bit of pepperoni or whatever you want. I like these, got a bit of a kick to them. Some lovely plum tomatoes and some portobello mushrooms. Now I've got a recipe up for this already. You don't have to use portobello mushrooms, you can just use normal flat white mushrooms, the big ones, and that works absolutely perfectly as well. So cool, let's, without further ado, let's crack on with it and let's throw this together and get it in the oven. So guys, the mushrooms are done and now we're going to whack a little bit of passata on there, and this is going to act as our pizza base. So I've poured some out into this bowl there, and what you want to do is you just want a little bit on top of each one, and you don't want to drench it or drown the mushroom, because what you need to remember is that mushrooms, being mushrooms, are full of water, and as you cook it, all that water is going to come out. So we don't really want to be adding any additional water to it if we can help it, but we need to limit how much we put on there. So, got our mushrooms done, let's get on with the rest of the stuff. Right then, so there's not really much more to do on this now. We're going to need our spicy sausage, so I reckon probably about 20 grams of this stuff. It's very, very thin. As you can see, you can pick them up from Lidl. I'll put it next to my t-shirt so you can see it. So yeah, probably about 20 grams of this. And what I want to do with this is I just want to cut it really, really small. So, here we go, watching your fingers. Remember your claw hands, as I was showing before. Okay, so that's the sausage done and out of the way. That's that bit done. Next we're going to have our tomatoes. Now I've chosen 1 tomato for each mushroom so that we get a nice hit from the tomato. So I think maybe if we cut it into 4 pieces, each tomato, that should probably do the job. 2, 3 cuts, there we go. Sharp so it can just glide through that tomato there. Okay, and then finally we want to chop up a little bit of basil. Now, as you guys know from previous videos, basil and tomato are an absolute match made in heaven. You cannot really go wrong with these flavours. If you can't get hold of any fresh basil, then try a little bit of dried basil. That's absolutely fine as well. What you'll find with fresh basil though is it's just so much more fresher when you use it. And the trick with the fresh basil is put it on towards the end of the cook, because once we put these in the oven, we don't want to cook out the flavour of the basil. So we're just going to cut it up right now, and then at the end of the cook, we'll just throw the basil on there, and it's just going to marry up with all the tomato and spices and loveliness in these mushrooms, and it's just going to be unbelievable. So we'll just chop that up, nice and rough. Watch that little finger, watch your pinky. Believe me when I say you're only going to do that once. Okay, nice and rough. I mean, if you're really into basil, what I've done before in different recipes is I've used the dry basil to go inside the recipe, and then I've used the fresh basil as a garnish over the top, so you get that real strong basil going all the way through the dish, but you get this lovely fresh garnish of basil on the top. Okay, so we've got our sausage, our tomato and our basil. Now all we've got to do is rack it up. Get our mushrooms here that we did earlier. Now, what I want to do here is I want to make sure that each mushroom has a fair share. So that's 4 tomatoes on each mushroom. And as these cook, they're going to loosen up as well, and they'll be nice and juicy. And when you take a bite, they're just going to pop in your mouth. It's just going to, oh, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it. Right, so finally we're going to pop a little bit of cheese on these. Don't be too shy with it. Probably about, I'd say, maybe 40 grams on each, something like that. There we go. Gosh, there we go, lovely jubbly. If you're not into basil, by the way, parsley's another good one for this. Parsley kind of one of those herbs that pretty much goes with anything. There we go. Get it all on there. You can kind of see why it's called a piece of mushroom now. Beautiful. There it is. And now we're going to get our sausage and just plonk it on, all random. There we go. Nice. Now I would say, on a keto diet, which is the one I'm currently on, probably 2 of these, 2 of the larger ones would be fine. As with everything, it's all about the quantity and the serving size. So don't go too mental. Okay, all we've got left to do now is to pop them in the pan. Now the reason I've said we needed 2 pans is because mushrooms being mushrooms, as I said, contain an awful lot of water. And what's going to happen is, whilst we're cooking them, that water is going to want to come out as well. So if we bunch them up all too much, then what's going to happen is the water is not going to have any space to evaporate around the mushroom. So what we want to do is we want to get a big old pan like this, and we just want to place them alternately like this. And this is going to give each mushroom enough space to evaporate all that water around the outside of them. So we'll do likewise with this one. Okay, excellent. So that's that. Got a little bit of cheese left over here, we'll just whack it over. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Lovely. You know what, I mean, you add just a bit of pepper. Wouldn't really be one of my videos without a bit of pepper on there, would it? Bum, 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 bum. That's it, perfect. And if you like it, throw a few chilies on. I'm not going to today, I might do it in the end though, we'll see. Right guys, I'm going to pop these in the oven, and yeah, I'll see you in about 25. Hi guys, so we're back. New camera angle. I've got a new selfie stick. Had a bit of a disaster with the other camera stand, so to move to the backup. But I quite like this angle, so I might go with it in the future. Also, had another bit of a disaster. As I took them out of the oven, I lost one along the way, which is this one here. Which is great because it means that, you know, now we can cut this one up and give it a go. So, I'll show you what we've ended up with. You can see here these beautiful little circles of joy just there, and they're going to taste absolutely blinding. In actual fact, I've already tasted a little bit of this one, so I already know it's going to taste blinding. But we'll just finish these off with a little bit of garnish, a little bit of that basil that we was talking about earlier. Just going to pop that over the top there, and that's just going to bring out that tomato so really nice. It's going to complement that tomato so beautifully. So something else I would do as well, after doing these, this is the first time I've done this with Portobello mushrooms, to tell you the truth. Last time I did it I did it with white mushrooms, and I have to say it was a little bit easier. So a couple of things I didn't anticipate was the cooking time. I'll probably not do 20 minutes in retrospect. I could probably maybe do it for about 10 to 12 minutes for each one, probably do the job. For Portobello, with the white mushroom ones I'll go a little bit longer because the white mushroom ones tend to be a bit fatter and a bit deeper. So I think that's probably where I got my timers a bit mixed up. Anyway, they've come out blinding, so let's do a little taste test of this half we've got here. So we'll just slice it up here, and you can see there, that mushroom cut right through there. The flavour of that mushroom is just absolutely unbelievable. Honestly, that's so good. So the white mushrooms might be a little bit easier, but the Portobello mushrooms are by far more flavoursome than the white mushrooms, hands down. So if you have the choice, do it with the Portobellos. But, you know, at a stretch you can go with the white mushrooms as well, which is fun. So there we go, guys. There it is. Mushroom pizzas. Mix it up, put your own toppings on. And yeah, see what you come up with. I would let them stand for a little bit afterwards, just for that cheese to set up a touch. Just so they're a little bit more easier to handle. But yeah, give it a go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the subscribe button, notify, all that gumph. Instagram, all of that stuff. So yeah, and I'll see you for the next video. Great, thanks ever so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.